We're just going to drop hot right in. Welcome, everyone, to the Pass the Controller podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest in video games and nerd culture. Sometimes Todd's camera's frozen. No, it's not. Wow, you were extremely still. I was like, is Todd frozen again? We had a great show for you tonight. As always, I'm your host, Brenden Groomer. Joining me on this lovely Saturday evening is the anime senpai himself, Mr. Michael Desir. Mike, how you doing tonight?
Yeah, you know.
Did you bring your stuff in? I forgot the stuff I bought in my car. I also forgot that I bought stuff. Okay.
But I also have like a big box, so.
That's true. Mike bought a bunch of comics today. Did you buy comics?
No. I bought 0 comics. I bought a bunch of DVDs and Blu-rays.
Oh, that's right. You bought DVDs and Blu-rays. I knew you had filled the box up with something. But you bought a comic book box to put your comics in.
Yes.
Okay. There it is. Also joining us tonight is the Fortnite father himself, Mr. Todd Gary, shaking his head. Why are you shaking your head?
I mean, I fucking haven't played Fortnite in like well over a month. I mean, the last time I played is when we played.
That is okay.
3 weeks ago, maybe? 3 weeks? That's pretty close.
You haven't been on the podcast in 3 weeks?
He wasn't on last week.
I was on last week.
That's 1 week. Was he not on 2 weeks in a row?
It's been.
I think we played Rivals the week before.
Yeah, I don't think we actually played Fortnite the last
time. We probably played a match or two of Fortnite.
All right, you're the fucking Rivals guy. What do you want from me?
You're
the cloak and dagger daddy.
Yeah.
What we want is some accuracy from you.
Okay. All right. Well, rounding us out, of course, is the Disney daddy himself, Mr. Dominic 40. Dom, how are you doing tonight?
I'm all right.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. It's good to hear. We had a great show for you tonight. Before we hop into tonight's PTC Movie Club, which is on the Wild Robot, we are going to do a couple of quick housekeeping things. This episode 456 of the Pass Controller podcast, is sponsored by our good friends at Goodnight Fatty from the Salem, Massachusetts area or the North Shore of Massachusetts on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday evening. You want yourself something hot, something sweet, something tasty, something fresh out of the oven, you can head on down to 1 Washington Square and get yourself a delicious fatty. And if you're unaware of what a fatty is, you can check them out on social media at Goodnight Fatty and educate yourself on these tasty treats. Other quick housekeeping things. I think that's it, actually, really. I mean, listen, if you listen to the show, if you watch the show, if you engage with the show in that way, we would really appreciate it if you left us a quick 5-star review. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to the show, leave us a quick 5-star review. It's super beneficial, super helpful in us growing the show. We would appreciate it if you took the time to do that. If you have bucks kicking around, you want to support the show, a bunch of ways you can do that. You can go to twitch.tv/passcontroller and subscribe to us there. You can go to passcontroller.threadless.com to get some swag. You can go to patreon.com/passcontroller and become a patron. All easy, great ways to follow us. You can follow us on social media at Pass Controller. If you're looking for everything we do outside of the podcast, whether that's cocktail recipes, video game reviews, other things, you can head on over to passthecontroller.io, our website, and get everything there, including the podcast. And as a reminder, if you're an audio listener, we do record the show live every week at twitch.tv/passcontroller. So if you want to see us live, you can tune in over there. And if you can't catch it live, no sweat. Just go over to youtube.com, type in Pass the Control Podcast, and you will see the episode later that week over there. Anyways, like I said, this is the PTC Movie Club pick for January. This is Todd's pick. This is Wild Robot. So if you haven't watched the film yet and you don't want us to spoil the movie for you, this is a great chance for you to step away from this episode and come back after you have watched The Wild Robot. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into it. Well, I guess it's Todd's pick, and Todd's seen it now allegedly 6 times. Has your opinion stayed the same, changed, better, worse? Where are you at?
It was my favorite movie of last year. I mean, followed by like Long Legs and a couple other films I can't remember that I saw last year. But this is the movie that like stood out the most for me.
Has an animated film ever been your favorite movie of the year prior to this?
And I mean, like ever since I had kids, I feel like I've dived into the animated film side of things a lot more than I ever would. I was usually really against them. But I mean, I'm kind of glad that I have started watching animated films because, Liam, when he was younger, was obsessed with the Iron Giant. And then, like, the Wild Robot, like, kind of gives me some memories of the Iron Giant. But, like, there's some great fucking cartoon movies out there that, I think are...
Iron Giant was a great cartoon movie.
Yeah, it's just a fucking great movie. And holds the test of time, and I feel like this movie will. And I'm excited because this is based on 3 books. It's the Wild Robot, escapes, and the Wild Robot protects. So it's like
that makes sense now. Okay, I did not know that before, but now this explains one of the things I was thinking about when I watched the movie.
Oh, but what was it like? That is it? You didn't know if it was like based on something or?
Well, no, the fact that it felt like it had 3 different movies. I mean, rather it had 3 different ends.
Yeah, I get you.
3 times I'm like, oh, I guess. No, rather when I was watching, I'm like, this seems like this is the end of the movie, but there's still like an hour left. What's going on? And
right. Oh no, I know what you're talking about.
Happened, and I was like, all right, so this is going to be the conclusion. And I'm like, no, there's still a lot of time left. There must be something else happening, and it happens again.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Liam's reading the books now, and I told him not to say a fucking word, or I'll kill him. It's like because like he wants to say everything, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to hear anything about these books. You know what's going to happen? I'm going to have to read the fucking books. That's what's going to happen. Have to happen.
Yeah. If this of all things is the thing that's getting Todd to read books,
bravo!
I'll be so confused.
The last thing that got me to read a book was fucking Harry Potter. I don't even know if I've read a book since fucking Harry Potter. Since the final 2 books of Harry Potter.
The way he said it reminded me of the 50 Cent. Floyd, if you can read 1 page of a Harry Potter book.
Well, what about you, Dom? How'd you feel about Wild Robot?
I thought it was a good movie. Really, I don't know, well done. The art style was very interesting. It was like animated watercolor almost.
Yeah, it was great. Yep.
It had like shades of like I at one point had to stop and be like, all right, what else has this guy directed? Because it had like a lot of shades of like other like Disney movies and like DreamWorks movies. It ended up being it was the guy that made How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh yeah, that makes sense because that's another franchise that's fucking incredible, and I highly recommend. I would actually pick that as one of my picks.
Yeah, I thought about picking it too.
It's so good. I'm kind of like I'm kind of impartial on the live action because like I don't think anything's gonna hit the way like seeing those movies, the cartoon movies.
I think at this point Disney's doing it, so DreamWorks is gonna try it.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I mean, like Todd said, like I mean, I probably liked this movie more than Inside Out too. So. I guess
that was last year too, and I really liked Inside Out 2 a lot. Like I was kind of whatever on the first Inside Out, but like the second one, like I loved. Like
you, Dom, are someone that loves Disney films probably easily the most out of the 4 of us. How does this kind of stack up to some of your favorite Disney animated films?
I mean, just off the bat, I mean, the character Roz feels very similar to Baymax, anyway, so it felt very much like a Disney movie.
Yeah.
Like obviously, like I mean, it like felt like almost like what if Baymax and WALL-E were combined?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because it very rarely touches on like what's actually going on in the real world, and you get like a glimpse for a second.
Yeah, when they show
yeah.
So, where like obviously WALL-E was about like the humans have destroyed the Earth, but like it wasn't what the movie was about.
Yeah.
No, exactly. It was just that was such like a big scene for this movie too, and it's just kind of like okay. But like, and it's like it's like the backdrop of. I'm sure they're gonna go into it more in like the future ones. But like, yeah, it's one of those things. Every time I watch the movie, I'm like, I forgot about this. What's the matter?
Nothing. Now I have to read it. So, someone in chat said, "Brenden, tell Todd to let someone else speak. He is a yapper."
Damn.
And then, I wasn't gonna read it, but what made me laugh is immediately after they said, "I know you're gonna laugh," and then I smirked because I was like, I can't fucking not laugh now.
So the other thing I was gonna say is that I knew that what's his name, Chris Sanders, had worked for Disney before. He had directed Lilo and Stitch as well.
Oh, okay.
What about you, Mike? How you feeling about it overall?
Yeah, I liked it. It was Other than the fact that, like, again, every single time it seemed like it was going to end, I was very confused. I thought, oh, this is kind of short, but oh, wait, there's still more to this movie. What else are they gonna do? Yeah, it's a nice film about a robot being a mom to a goose, which I've always looked for. I've always wanted something like that.
I'm surprised that's what you always wanted. I was to kind of take it back a little bit to what you were just both talking about, which was like the Wall-E like aside. I because I didn't know anything about the movie. I assumed obviously like this is a robot in the wilderness dealing with animals, but when it was kind of projected like, oh, it's like maybe there's civilization is gone or different, or like it seems like the planet is kind of ruined. I was expecting more of that, like kind of in the whole movie. I was like waiting for more of that to show up somewhere, and then it never really did. But it didn't bother me that it never was talked about further. I was just like, oh yeah, like whatever. That's just the future anyway. That's what.
There's never a human they show in the movie either, which is kind of
they do.
I was just trying to
that
think of that. They
place.
do in the control panel.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
And then even at the end when Roz, like, a woman walks by and Roz is like, hi,
Yeah.
my name is Roz and blah 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 blah.
Yeah. And in that video, I think probably too that like they play a few different times, like the intro
probably
video
show, like, a
for
couple humans.
the robots.
Yeah, I was trying to think if they show actual humans or if they just show sketches.
Oh yeah, I mean, at that point, it's
But, like,
me trying to
yeah,
figure out if it's a drawing or if it's
Yeah.
a drawing of a drawing.
Yeah.
But before we get into kind of no holds,
Dude, ask Mike what he liked. Oh,
yeah, dude.
Yeah, I kind of briefly said, like, I liked it.
Yeah.
It was nice. A nice little film.
If
you didn't say if you liked it.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, if now that Challengers isn't in the mix of like best score, I think the score is fucking phenomenal for this movie. The score is like reminds me of How to Train Your Dragon, where it has that one song that kind of overlaps the whole film.
I don't know. That one song in How to Train Your Dragon is.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Dude, that scene when he takes out the dragon,
Yeah.
it's like it's so fucking. And the scene in this movie is so good, and
Todd, we'll talk about How to Train Your
Okay.
Dragon when we do the next
no,
part
no,
of the
no.
film.
I'll let Brendan
We
go
do the
because
next
there's a
part
part that I have to
speech.
say, but like it's a part when I saw it in the theater with the kids, and there's this. It's you probably want to have me go into it.
Listen, you can get
So
into
go
the whole
ahead,
thing.
do what you gotta do. No, do what you gotta do.
I was just gonna say before we get too far into it, as we always do, what do you? Unless you know the score, obviously don't
I know,
chime
so
in.
tell me out.
Mike, what do you think the Rotten Tomato score was for? You know both of these.
I
Todd?
know.
I know at least the first one, but I'm pretty sure.
I believe this movie was well received on both fronts.
Okay,
So
okay.
I'm gonna say the tomato meter is like 90. Do I want to do high 90s? I think. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna say 96 tomato meter popcorn bucket, whatever that one's called, popcorn rating is 94.
Okay. What do you think, Dom?
See, at some point, I feel like I looked at this movie and I saw 97, 95, but I don't remember if that was like recently or if that was like when it was in theaters.
Is that what you're
So
gonna
I'm
lock
gonna
in?
say 97, 95. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if
Good
that's
number.
like educated.
Do you actually know, Todd? Do you know the score?
Yeah.
So
Do
it
you
has.
want me to say it?
Yeah. What you got, Todd? What you got?
So the critic score I believe was 97. Audience score was 98.
Yep. So high
98.
marks. High marks. People like this
Yeah.
film. Critics like this film. But
For a couple Oscars.
did it also do well in the box office with a budget of? Oh, why is the budget not listed here? Let me see what the budget was. With a budget of 78 million. What do we think this took home worldwide, Mike?
78 mil?
That's what it
Oh,
says.
wow.
That's what a quick Google
Okay.
search said. Wikipedia says 78 million.
I want to say this movie did well considering the accolades it's gotten. So I'm gonna say
Also, think about Mutant Mayhem. All right.
ooh, that's true too. I'm still gonna give it a good. I'm gonna say 190.
190. Okay. What do you think, Dom?
I can't go.
All right.
Oh,
Todd, what do
Oh,
you
you
think?
know. I'll say like 390.
390.
Is this
Well-
states only?
It's never states only. Why would we do
I don't
states
know.
only for
I don't
this?
know.
I don't know. USA first? I don't know.
Yikes. No, we always do internet worldwide box office. Todd's the closest with 325, which
Wow.
I mean, budget
Whoa,
of
that's
78's
low.
high, but
I feel like
but
that's
it's still
low,
it still did well. You know what I mean? It didn't do
yeah,
anything
no,
crazy.
it's good. But like, yeah.
I mean, what this was last year?
It was
Yeah.
the 5th highest grossing animated film of last year, I think. Considering Inside Out was number 1.
What else? What else was over that? Though?
I mean,
Mufasa was over it, I know.
The
Which one?
2024
Mufasa.
worldwide box office is number 1 is Inside Out 2, with 1.6, basically 1.7. Deadpool Wolverine was number 2, 1.3. Moana 2 was
Moana 2.
a little over 1 million. Despicable Me 4 was a little bit shy of 1 million. I'm actually surprised Wicked was I'm sorry, when I said million for those other ones, that's $1 billion.
Yeah, I took it as billion.
So Despicable Me 4 just below $1 billion. Wicked 718. I don't know. I figured that did better. Or I guess is it still in
It's
theaters
a
now?
3-hour movie though. It's like a long movie.
But it came out it came out in November, right? Or did it come out in December?
I don't know.
It was definitely late November or early December.
So I mean, it probably had maybe not a lot more, but it probably has more money coming into it in this year.
Yeah.
Maybe not a ton more. We'll round up the top 10 for posterity. Dune Part 2, 714. Mufasa the Lion King, 631. Godzilla Kong New Empire, 571. Kung Fu Panda 4, 547. And Venom The Last Dance, 478.
Wow,
I
that's
still haven't watched
insane.
that one.
I never will. But like, that's insane that it even did those kind of numbers.
So yeah, Wild Robot was 19 for the year. So between Venom and that, I won't give the numbers, but it goes Gladiator 2, Beetlejuice, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Bad Boys Ride or Die, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. That's a terrible name.
Bro, how is Bad Boys Ride or Die making that much money? Like, if you guys watch it, it's
love those
fucking
Bad Boys.
No. You're talking to one of those people who loves those Bad Boys, and then a movie named John Wick came out and made that Bad Boys action movie franchise just look stupid. Like, it's like, and then they tried to do it in Bad Boys Ride, the most recent one. The most recent Bad Boys movie is legit fucking garbage.
Yeah, but people have to go see it to know that it was garbage, Todd.
Yeah, they already got the money. You don't get your money. The money doesn't come out when you leave.
Fucking crazy. Crazy.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which I'll stand by. I think that's a terrible name for a movie. Or anything. Twisters, which I'm surprised because I feel like people loved that movie. I feel like it was talked about like.
I don't think people care about disaster movies as much as
it was like 90s nostalgia and trying to grab onto what's his face.
Yeah, make it Glenn Powell. Everyone wants to fucking
Alien.
I mean, it still made top 20. So.
Oh, sorry.
It made top 20. Yeah.
It ends with us, Alien Romulus, and then the Wild Robot. Wild Robot did better than the Garfield movie, so suck it, Chris Pratt.
Wow. Yeah, but what about Samuel L. Jackson? Come on.
I mean, Chris Pratt still has.
I was trying to think if we've already listed a Chris Pratt movie.
Did we?
Yeah,
I don't think so. Not in 2024.
Oh, I was thinking of
unless he's a voice in any of those
cowboy
other
movie,
movies,
but he was in like the Magnificent Seven. I was like putting those two together.
Is Kung Fu Panda still Jack Black? Is he the main character?
Yeah, he is. Yes.
He's still the
Despicable Me is Steve Carell.
Yes.
The last one was terrible. And I like those movies, but the last one was not good.
Inside Out 2, who are like the big voices in that?
Amy Poehler.
Amy Poehler, yeah.
Is she the one? Like she's the top build? Is that what?
Yeah.
Yes.
Amy Poehler.
Maya Hawke is in this one, but
and to be fair, Phyllis is the other.
Oh yeah, she's a huge part.
Like they went out of their way to get her. Like she's done acting, and they went out of their way.
Which is so weird because they didn't get what's his name.
Well, I think Bill Hader
from SNL.
Yeah.
And
why?
Mindy Kaling didn't want to come back either. It was money, I think.
It was money, yeah.
They went out of their way to make sure Phyllis came back though. They built a studio, found a studio.
It's so
near
weird,
her to
yeah.
record.
I don't know anything about the Moana films. Is any of the other voice actors in that besides The Rock people of note or no?
No. And the first one, it was like the guys from what's it called? That HBO
Christopher
show.
Jackson.
Yeah.
George Washington from Hamilton
Okay.
is Moana's father.
They're
not people of note, really.
Does he do?
Actually, is what's his face a voice in Moana 2?
The guy who does Shiny.
Boba.
Cool.
Boba.
Oh,
Who's the guy?
is he? Yeah, Timor.
Oh, Fight of the Conchords. Fight of the Conchords. One of the guys from that is from.
Yeah, Tamara Morrison. Yeah, Jermaine. Jermaine is
Okay. Looking at the cast list. Yeah, Jermaine is.
Did you see Moana too?
Tamatoa.
I still have not watched it.
It's
and apparently it's just
Tamora
better. And not Christopher Jackson in Moana 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know about Moana. Is the music fucking Lin-Manuel?
Music is legit.
Is it Lin-Manuel?
Trash. In the first one, the second one is very much missing.
Doing Mufasa.
Very much missing his music though, because
Lin-Manuel did Mufasa.
Yes. And 2 could have been the perfect sequel if the music was better, but the music is not, like, there's not a memorable song in the whole movie, and that's what made Moana 1. The music was so good in Moana, the first one. The second one is...
I don't want to keep going down this path because we're like almost halfway into this episode. We've barely talked about the Wild Robot. I'm confused though. I'm sorry. Lin-Manuel Miranda did the music for Mufasa. Are there like songs, like singy songs, like rappy songs?
What don't mess about talk about my brother. My brother.
I'm legit just asking because I don't know anything about the Mufasa movie.
No, that's like an actual thing from the movie, apparently.
Yeah, and then he has that one. It's like the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria, like that.
Anyways, Wild Robot. Let's just get into it. Listen, if you're listening to this episode right now, or you've listened to other PTC movie episodes from us, I have been going back and forth with, do we need to change the format of how we do these specific episodes to be more like the flow of the episode is plot driven, where we're kind of just like going through the movie in plot order? Because I mean, I don't listen to a lot of other shows that are like that, but I know a lot of them exist, and probably most others sort of kind of follow that flow. And I personally don't want to say I don't care about it, but it's not a format that I personally drives me. But I don't know. I mean, if any, I feel like
if you haven't watched the movie, that would make sense. But I feel like most people who, if they're tuning in, have watched the movie. I don't think it matters where you go because like they've watched the fucking movie, so it's not like nothing we're talking about is confusing to them. I feel like.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. Do either of you have opinions? I know, like, how did this get made? They probably follow in plot order a little bit more, maybe.
They don't. I think they jump around, but I think what happens is, number one, their cast are funny. Number two, I think they're prepared and like they know what they want to talk about. Like they take notes for their movies. And they're like,
I want to be clear. I take notes for everything. I can't speak for the rest of you. I'm not trying to call anyone out. I'm just saying I have things I want to talk about.
Notes, but I also see point one. We're not that funny, so like it doesn't matter that you took notes.
Well, then that means we got to back it up with points, Mike. We got to just be like the point podcast, you know. Anyways, I don't know what we're talking about, but if you're a listener and that's something you have, you know, you want us to do that more of, like, talk about. It doesn't have to be like an order, but like
fuck off if that's the problem, right?
You know, I take that into consideration when like kind of pushing the conversation along. If that's how people would prefer to like do it, I was thinking about it today because. Unrelated but not related, or somewhat related, at least to the point I'm making, is I've been listening to Ben Stiller and Adam Scott do a Severance podcast where they talk about each episode, and they kind of keep it plot, like that's the flow of the show, is like the plot beats of the episode. And as I'm listening to it, I'm like, I really don't need them to do this. Like, I just talk about talk about literally anything else, I guess. I don't know, unless they're making like interesting points. It doesn't like. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I'm talking out loud when this should just be thoughts in my head that maybe I say to you guys later. What are we talking about? Wild Robot. Someone else say something about this movie.
Someone else talk. Hear me out. So there's the scene with Bright Bill when, you know, they got to train him to be in water, being like flying. The whole flying scene, when that music kicks in, going back to this, I was going to say, I think this movie deserves original score. I mean, I don't know what else is out there. I was looking at them all, and I'm like, oh man, this is it. But like when that part hits, and like Roz just seems to be like more human and being like, this is another one. I feel like I've said this so many times when we talk about films these recently and like having kids. I have kids now, and now I feel this way. But
Jeez,
like
get a
again with this
personality, Todd.
movie, no, but I know. But again with this movie, it's one of those movies where like you're like you get. I'm completely like just locked into like the plot because I'm like I get it, and I love how
I definitely got
the
teary-eyed at the end, like, and where I feel like a few years ago I probably would not have.
oh
Like
dude.
couple
So
of bitch boys on this podcast,
yeah, oh
Mike.
yeah, trust me,
I,
trust me,
I've been
trust me.
saying that for a long
So
time.
when she helps him one last takeoff and runs up the mountain and they're playing that fucking music, that music. I remember being in the theater and I'm like, I'm fine. I'm gonna have a drink. Nothing's wrong. And I'm like, oh, and I could see like Liam was kind of looking at me and everyone's looking at me. I'm like, it's good. And then I'm like,
Everyone,
literally,
everybody in the like,
Everybody in the movie
this is
is
a
like,
big boy.
what the fuck?
yeah, like, is he all right? And I'm like,
Everyone
but I
else
was
is like the possum mom. The possum
but
mom,
man,
like, I got all
that
these
scene,
kids. Who fucking cares?
right.
Look at this
But
bitch
that's
boy over here crying.
but that scene hit me, and then for the rest of the movie, anytime they played that theme song of that part, I'm like, I start welling up again. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm just like, literally, like, and I play it off like, I need another a sip of my water. Like sitting there, like, it's just killing me. But like, there's a scene with the possums, and she even says like, no one knows what they're doing. Like, and like it's like so good and so true, and like, and I love the possums in this movie when they're like. When he's like, I'm dying of meningitis,
Yeah.
like he's like, it takes a while. It's so good.
The when they're like all in the thing during like winter, and one of the possums
Yes.
walked up to Roz and goes, "I won't even pretend to be dead."
Yeah, right. It's so good. And I love that. That's another scene I love too, because like I love like every little aspect of it, like when she's being the light tower for like
The
the otters
otters.
on the water, like all that shit. It's so good, and I'm just like, oh man, because like Mike said, when Brightbill leaves, you're like, okay, so where are we going now with this movie? I was kind of confused myself seeing it the first time. I'm like, oh, that was everything happened so quick, and I guess like from the book stand of view, like Liam's like that doesn't happen. Like Brightbill doesn't leave till like the end of the book. It's like they kind of like sped everything up. It seems like for the movie, but like I was kind of like the same way. I was like, once he was gone, I'm like, okay, so what now, kind of thing. It's like where are we going? Because like Brendan said, there's an hour left after this. It's like okay, so what's
I was
next?
so confused by that because
Oh,
when Bright Bill left, I was like, where is this gonna go? And then in my head, I was like, okay. Earlier in the movie, at some point, Roz for some reason has like a flyer for Florida. So I was like, okay, maybe that's where like these robots are manufactured, and that's where they are. Oh, they're migrating to the south. Maybe they're flying to fucking Florida. She's gonna go back to her thing, and somehow they're gonna like cross
yeah,
paths again.
yeah.
And then I paused it to like get up and like get a drink or something. And I was like, how the fuck is there an hour left? Never. That's not what I was like. Never mind. That's not what they're doing. There's no way that's what they're
Right,
doing.
yeah, right.
Because it was like I don't understand.
Honestly, Pedro Pascal, I thought was so good in this movie too.
He was
And,
great. Yeah.
I'm a
Not
Pedro
Jason
hater.
Bateman.
Yeah,
What
right.
what I will say actually that I think I was caught off guard by it, especially for this being a movie that was close to 2 hours long. I think I was a little caught off guard by it at first, where it felt like this movie had the confidence kind of throughout the film to not linger on stuff it didn't want to linger on, and like kind of just, I don't want to say rush through, because I think I think a strength of this movie, especially for it being long, is its pacing. I think that it chooses to spend time on it.
I just had to look it up because Brendan said close to 2 hours.
It's like an
and
hour
then
40, right?
It's an hour and 40 minutes.
That's close to 2 hours. Is that not?
3 hours almost.
It's an hour. It's closer to an hour
It's
and a
close to
half.
1 hour and a half. It is closer to an hour and a half than
It's
it is
like
to 2 hours.
it's like
Mathematically, it's closer. Just
it's like the minimum. It's like the minimum length you could have for a feature length film.
All right, well, whatever. Did I say 2 hours earlier? I know I just said it now, but did I say
you
it
just said
earlier?
you just said close to 2 hours, and then you had said something else after that, it was like a longer runtime or something. Whatever you just said.
Oh, Well, regardless,
in my head, I was thinking
not,
like it's like an hour and a half movie.
It's not, it's not a short movie by any means, but it's not a long movie. But I do think that, like, especially what this movie was doing and the story it was telling, I think it could have very easily tried to over-explain things or, like, try to give extra exposition or all this stuff. And
I think that transition throws you off, too, of, like, the whole Bright Bill first arc to, like, it just kind of, like, is like, whoa, okay, so it just throws you off.
I'm not even talking about just that, though. I'm just saying, like, throughout the movie, I feel like the movie has enough confidence in what it's doing that, like, from the beginning, it's like, here's this broken robot on the shore, and, like, it kind of just goes. And it's like, it doesn't give you a bunch of backstory. It doesn't give you a bunch of exposition. And it kind of just, like, even when when Roz meets, I forget what the fox's character's name is. Fink or something. Yeah.
Fink, yeah.
Like, there's not a lot of build up between, like, them spending more time together to become friendly to then, like, she just trusting him with Bright Bill and living together. Like, it's just kind of like, no, we're just gonna go there because, I mean, it's a fucking cartoon movie with robots and animals, but also it's like we trust what we're doing. That's like, it's not gonna feel weird. It's just gonna keep going, and I think they do that throughout the movie, and I appreciated the pacing of the film because at first it caught me off guard where I was like, oh, okay, I guess they're just gonna, like, shoehorn some stuff in, but it kind of works throughout the movie.
That's another thing I like too, though, like how, right when she gets there, she starts mirroring the crabs and, like, oh, okay, let's climb up this. And then at the end of the movie, she's literally using all her wildlife techniques.
I love that.
I love that. Love that shit. It was so good. And, like, she's like, I forget what she says. Like, I am the wild. And when they all
howl,
like,
oh,
I was like, let's fucking go. Yeah, let's go. It's one of those scenes I'm like, yes.
How did you feel about the very clear Avengers shot at one point towards the end?
Of all the animals, like, when they're spinning around the camera?
It's great.
I was like,
great.
Okay, that's good.
It's
a good shot.
There was another shot that they did, too, that was definitely like a reference to something else. Now I'm forgetting what it was. I think it was also towards the end of the movie. I will say one of the best lines in the movie has nothing to do with kids and parenting and all that. It's Matt Berry's character where they go and need to, like, knock the tree down to change the flow of water, and he's like, stands up and he's like, I'm gonna butcher it, but I'm pretty sure he says, Fink, now tell me that you think I'm cool or funny.
I'm cool.
And
cool,
don't lie.
And don't lie.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, Matt Berry's always just, like, perfect delivery. Like, he's so good at what he does whenever he's doing anything, and his voice is so great, especially for animated shit. So it was so perfectly delivered. It was a very funny line.
Yeah. Yeah, I did spend most of the movie going, like, who are these voices? Because I knew Lupita Nyong'o beforehand, but I didn't know who else the cast was, and I didn't want to look it up because I knew I might end up, like, seeing information that would preclude me from guessing at Rotten Tomato scores or box office performance. So I knew Matt Berry because he has a very distinct voice, but I didn't know that was Bill Nighy or
for long
Catherine O'Hara.
I love how, like, Ving Rhames was, I love how
Ving Rhames, I was like, I know this voice, but I can't play.
Yeah, the second you hear it, yes, exactly. So I was the same way. I love how the second oh fuck, what was I just gonna say? I lost it. Go on.
Yeah, I mean, what else can I say?
Short cast list, but I felt like it was, like, all very solid.
Yeah.
Oh, Mark Hamill. That one took.
Mark Hamill.
Wait, who was Mark Hamill again?
He was the bear, I think.
The bear.
Which I didn't even pick up on. Like, I looked at the cast after, because I also at no point could figure it out that it was like the fox sounded so familiar to me, and I couldn't pick up that it was Pedro. Yeah, I couldn't pick it up.
It was Jason Bateman. It was just Nick Fox from
Zootopia.
The long beak, long neck. That was also
Bill Nighy.
Bill Nighy. Yeah. And then
the guy.
I Catherine O'Hara was the possum.
The science
didn't
guy.
say that.
Oh, I forgot she was the possum too. Yeah.
She was the possum. Yeah. But the possum was great. I was actually surprised. Like, Jen was laughing at this movie fucking throughout the film, and I was like surprised that it was like she was finding it that funny.
Wait, you liked it? Or?
The
She
Possums
loves
are
it,
great comedic relief.
Okay.
They are great.
Yeah, I thought yeah, they really are. Like, and that was one of those things where like you can try to wedge humor in these movies, but like it had like I feel like it could go one or two ways, and I think it really worked in this movie. The parts that did that.
The part where like the possum's like having a conversation with Roz, and she's like, "Yeah, I have 7 kids," and like
Kids.
you hear one yell, and
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
oh, 6 kids.
yeah, right. There was like some graphic shit of like the
Yeah.
cycle of nature in that though. Like there's a part with a bird too, where like the head's like fucking
Yeah, the head like rolls off in front of them.
Yes, I was like,
I mean,
what
the
I forgot about
movie
all
pretty
this
much
stuff.
starts off with her killing
Yeah.
all of Bright
Right.
Bill's family. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
and then like the short mini plot after that is the fox trying to eat the fucking egg. So it's like
Yes, right.
they don't really try to shy away from anything yet. I mean,
It is weird because like it starts with like the like nature, the circle of life, and by the end of the movie, it's like, all right, like Roz is teaching them all to break the circle of life.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, this is nice and all, but I can't help but think like at
They're all
some
fucked.
point that
Yeah,
bear is going to have
right.
to eat somebody. It's like, listen, I know,
Eat
like,
the fish. The
I know,
fish weren't
I knew
there,
we
man.
hung out.
It's
Yeah,
like-
the fish and bugs are always the animals that get left out of
Yes,
these
right.
like
Yeah.
anthropomorphic things, just because like we know they have to eat something. But
They
yeah,
weren't in the hut
I'm like,
with us.
Yeah.
yeah, they were not
No,
in the hut
no.
with us,
If you're not
except
in
for
there,
maybe
you're
that one fish, the one that actually had a name.
the one that tried to
Oh.
eat Bright Bill.
Yes, it's like
Yeah.
a way that fish is a big part of like the book too. It's like way bigger of a part. So like that is like a very small. I love how Roz at the beginning is super like just robot, and I like the development of Roz as well. How like by the end she's like ripping out shit, and she's just like
Yeah,
she's just basically talking like a fucking human at this point and everything. And I love how like for her to study all the animal language, it wasn't just like I'm listening, and it was like a season or two, you know, and then
Yeah,
all of a
it's
sudden
like-
she's up and yeah.
Yeah.
I did think it was like cool that they like that like another like pacing thing. Brenden is like they're like, all right, there's no reason this robot would know how to speak to animals, so like we'll show that, but we'll like speed it up.
Yeah.
Yes, it was like yes,
Which again, for like it, and I think it all works in its favor for a movie that like it does so much in that first hour, to the point where I was like, oh, this movie must almost be over, and then I paused, like, oh, there's 40 more minutes left. Like they could have extended so much of that early stuff, and like either extended the movie or just like cut out some of that other, what I think is more interesting, more impactful stuff that they did put in the movie. Yeah, it was really good. I don't think we said it, but I was like, Lupita Nyong'o as Roz was also like fantastic. I mean, the voice cast in this movie was fantastic.
it was great.
They were all very, very good. I'm trying to think. I feel like I don't have much negative to say about the movie. Not that we have to have negative stuff to say, but like it was solid. Like I don't know if I watch it again, but at least not anytime soon. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I thought it was heartfelt. I definitely teared up at the end a few different times.
Look at this bitch boy over here.
Look at this bitch
I'm
boy.
the biggest bitch boy. Yeah,
I've got
but
a
I
question.
yeah.
Well, go ahead and finish your thought.
I was just gonna say, yeah. I mean, like there were a few different times like that, like caught me off guard. That I was like, oh shit, like that just like fucking hit me in the chest a little bit. I was like, whoa.
I'm telling you, it's the music. It's the music that does. It's like the music makes every scene more impactful when that fucking music hits.
Stephanie Shu also fantastic.
Great, I
as
love her too.
The like little villain robot at the end.
Yeah, I was waiting
She's
for
a
that.
good
I'm
villain.
like, at some point, we're gonna get a villain robot. Where are they at? And shows up at the end. At least they were very upfront. It's like, hey, listen, I sound friendly, but actually, I'm a cold,
I've been programmed this way. Yeah.
I'm a cold, calculating robot.
I didn't. There were some of the action scenes early in the movie that I was like, I don't need all this. Like it's whatever. But the action scene, like the final fight scene at the end, was fucking great. And like the colors in those scenes where, the forest is on fire, but it's like purplish red. It's just like the colors of that scene and the animation was all of it was so good. And like the animals like ripping apart the other big robots was just, I don't know. It was
in the
like
book,
very well
apparently.
animated.
So like in the book, when Longneck dies, they're actually at a farm. They're not like at like some like space station kind of thingy almost. Like they're just at like a local farm and a guy with a gun is like chasing after them, kind of thing. And that's what Liam told me today, basically. So
Okay, yeah. So I
they
was gonna
definitely
ask you,
took like liberty of like changing some stuff. I think it worked what they changed, but
I
like
mean, it's
yeah.
still a farm. Like it's whatever. It was a space farm or whatever, or like
Yeah, I'm so yeah, but why would they be flying up and that high up?
well, no,
Like,
I think it was just protected
my
from the
understanding,
environment.
yeah, my
okay.
understanding was like as a part of whatever's happened to the Earth, where like you know, there's been floods and like changing in climate and stuff. There are pockets of humanity that still exist that they have to shelter themselves in place and things like that.
Yeah.
Same thing happened to Wally.
Yeah, same thing happened to Wally. Oh, Todd's walking away. I had a question for him as the book expert.
I was just gonna say, to bring it back to the like color thing. There's a few scenes like when you said color, like the scene of Roz touching the tree and all the butterflies come off.
Yeah.
That was like fantastic.
Mhm.
And there was another one later in the film. Oh, I think it's the scene where she's running and like Bright Bill takes off and like they show all of the flock like going at the same time. That was
Yeah.
like
Yeah, there's some really good scenes like that. I mean, even early in the film too. I don't think it's when he hatches out of the egg. I think it's when he's still a little like duckling though, or gosling, where she's like I think holding him super close, and I think it's like she turns a bunch of different colors, and like I don't know, I
Yeah,
forget the
so
scene.
it lights up
Yeah.
around her, like
Yeah.
it's just like yeah, it's so good. The butterfly, I heard Dom say that was seen so good too.
And
But yeah,
the
no,
like
that's
migration, the like
yes.
her running the migration scene, like the colors are like fantastic. You've been called upon but as the book expert.
Okay.
Oh yeah, as a
Well,
book expert,
I don't know if I have an answer for you, but
yeah, that's fine.
Bring Liam.
I was curious if the other robot had the one that Roz puts together, if that one had like a bigger like plot.
I'll have to
point
get back to you on that one. I don't know.
Okay.
But realistically, probably from like everything that Liam told me is like he said that like the everything that like happens with Bright Bill and everything is way closer towards the end of the book. So there's definitely like a lot more world
did
building
seem-
probably in the middle there.
It did seem interesting that like they took the time to name the robot that was on screen
Yeah,
for
exactly.
all of a minute.
Yeah.
So
Because I thought like that robot was gonna have a big. I thought that robot would ultimately end up being the villain, and then
I did too.
Like crashed almost immediately.
Yeah, I mean it's a great film. I mean it does like even without having children and being a parent, like I can see the gravity and how well done all of those scenes are. Like they still resonate, and I think that it does a lot on both sides. It's not just about, I think, the identity of the child in the situation with Bright Bill, but I think the identity of Roz just in general, both as a parent, but also just kind of, I think, as a
Living creature.
Yeah, we're just not even like I was gonna say an adult, but like Roz is a fucking robot. So who the fuck
Protector.
knows? Yeah, just like an older guardian, a being of understanding and like learning their place and their role. I don't know. It like does a lot of really well done things in that regard. I appreciate
it also,
it.
I mean, it also hits upon like the outsider becoming like
Yes.
almost like a leader, the outsider becoming
Oh,
a
like,
member.
Last Mohican type thing.
Yeah.
I think just
I
even in
think that
general,
would be-
like the theme of outsider in general on both sides is
Well, yeah, I just in both sides, the outsider became the leader of the group. That's
yeah.
yeah.
So I think it handles a lot of those things pretty well. Were you gonna say something?
Congratulations! I was gonna say congratulations, Todd. You picked a movie that Brendan liked.
Yeah, I feel like, and listen, every movie I've ever picked, Brendan is like calls me the next day. He's like, "Listen, I had to go hard on you on the podcast just to be like kind of a dick," but then he's
Here's
like
my
telling
real
me how
score.
much he loves me.
I gotta keep appearances up.
This is my real score, 9.725.
Yeah, Todd. Honestly, I have to tell you, Hereditary really stuck with me. I'm really grasping the themes. I think
And then will
it's
never admit it, but he
well
told
done
me
film.
he loves that movie.
Tony Collette honestly changed my life.
Should have won he's like, listen, I don't follow Oscars that much, but she should have won a fucking Oscar for
She
that
would
movie.
have won an
Yeah.
Oscar. That dinner scene alone.
Yep. I am your mother.
Another movie about family.
Yeah.
I hate this so much.
Hmm.
Anything else we want to say about this film? I feel like we barely talked about the movie.
We
we
did
talked
talk
about
about
it
the
a
movie,
lot.
but we did talk about something else at the beginning. Oh, How to Train Your Dragon. We did talk about that a lot for some reason.
I wouldn't say we talked about it a lot.
More than we should have for a movie that had little to do with it.
Well, I feel
That's
to be honest with you, I feel like we spent way too much time
Same
on this. So
director.
let's get to next gen so we can we
Yeah,
got
so
2
we
more to
can-
go. So
Okay.
So we should do that and Mitchell vs. the Machines.
yes.
I think the Wild Robot. This is my prediction. I think this is going to be at the end of the year our top 3 of the year that we watched. I don't think it's going to be number 1.
Oh, I'm gonna pick
This
some
is- this is the
stink.
first one.
I'm
Okay.
tell you that right now.
Mike's trying to fucking
Get ahead of it.
There's no
Brenden doesn't
points,
know
Mike.
my plan for the year yet.
Mike's gonna pick what's it called? Fast and the Furious 6. So none of us know where
I
they're at
need you
that
guys
point.
to catch up. I need you guys to catch up to 2024 me. So I have to pick Madam Web. I have to pick Megalopolis.
You gotta pick what's it
Oh,
called?
you didn't watch
Craven.
Venom yet. You didn't watch Venom yet.
Venom.
I didn't watch
Craven,
Venom yet. That's
Venom.
true. Maybe I'll just pick Venom 3.
Venom.
Venom Save the Last Dance or whatever it's called.
It's not called that. Is it called Save the Last
I
Dance? No,
hope
it's
it
not.
is.
I think,
No,
I
I
think it's
hope it
called
is.
Last
That's-
Dance.
Okay.
I think it's just called.
it's now officially Save the Last Dance.
Yeah.
Oh man, I feel like we should say more about this film, but I don't know. I mean, what else is there to say? I think we touched on all the major things. I mean, we touched about what we liked.
Mhm.
Mike said how much he hated it. So
Hey, listen, I like the movie. The thing is that I typically don't. I
Todd's
don't like
picks.
what. I don't. Well, Todd has amazing picks. Honestly, Swingers, it's like in my top 10 now.
So he picked one film. Okay.
I'm
What
just
about
saying.
the other guys? The other guys top 10 movie.
Other Guys was actually really good. I did.
Yeah,
really like
top
that.
10.
No, Nice Guys.
Yeah, Nice Guys.
And Nice Guys.
Nice
Sorry,
Guys.
Nice Guys.
Yeah,
Other Guys-
such a good movie. You couldn't even
Other-
remember the
I
name.
can't
Todd.
remember the
Other
name.
Guys is okay. Nice Guys, honestly,
Prisoners top 10.
Prison was
What
good.
else?
Anyway, what I was gonna say was I don't typically watch movies where like movies that have this vibe where like there is a robot main character like this. Just because those movies typically bum me out in some way. This
Movie makes you teary eyed, but not in the ways that more like happy tears than
Yeah. Like I was
Not like-
concerned it would be like was concerned that the movie might have sort of ended the way it was like when they were in the ship at the end and Brightbell, like basically that scene. No, that's when Brightbell's a baby. Like at the end where Brightbell's like, "Oh, I love you," and like he like curls up on her shoulder. I was like, "Oh man, this would be a
yes.
sad ending."
Yes,
Yeah.
I also was anticipating it to end in a situation where, because there are a few different times where they sort of like
They like hint at like
At
Roz
Roz
is
dying.
basically dying.
yes,
Yeah.
like they do it with I think the first
She's like leaking fluid, and then
Yeah,
she's like,
when she's
Yeah, they
when
show
she's
that,
helping him
spot of,
train,
fluid
he's
on the
leaking
ground,
she's
yeah.
leaking purple fluid, and the fox
It
realizes
shows
it.
an animal looking at
Yeah,
it.
it's the fox. And then there's a few different times where she mention to like, oh, my inner battery core is damaged and like I have to rely on solar power, and so I got to turn myself off when I go to sleep. And it's like, this robot is not waking up one of these
Listen,
days.
and now she's fucking all rebuilt. She's probably good to go. So now the she's got to escape. That's the next movie. It's fucking.
Wild
Are they
Robot
making
2.
a second movie to this?
I'm assuming so. It's
Oh,
based
I
on
don't
3
know.
books. So it's like a
Oh,
3
so
book thing.
the books outpace the movie. That there's more written. I
Yes,
thought the
yeah,
books
yeah,
were the
yeah.
movie. Okay.
Oh yeah, so like book 1, book 2, book 3, and movie 1. I'm assuming movie 1, 2, and 3 because like it doesn't go any further than the first book in this movie.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really? I thought this
Yeah.
movie was all 3 books.
That's what I thought.
Oh
Too.
no! Oh yeah, no, yeah. So this is just the first book. That's it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, well, then the third movie is definitely going to end with,
Something. Bright Bill's dying.
yeah.
Like
Someone's
someone's dying,
dying.
or Rod's dying. Yeah. It's
Somebody's gonna fucking bite the dust.
right. Superman. Someone's gonna go Superman.
Super.
I wonder if the other movies then are going to dive more into other stuff that's going on. Like, I wonder if it's going to deal with humanity.
It's going to be, probably, because it's her escaping. It's probably her escaping where she is at the end of the movie in the next one, and then like her going back to the family of animals, and that's called, the final book's called Protect. So I mean,
Interesting.
I think the second one will have, like you said, a lot to do with humanity.
Damn. So is this the end of the movie? Is that Roz's severed self? Is that what's going on there?
Oh,
I don't follow the reference.
Dom knows what I'm talking about.
I'm not listening.
Yeah,
Once again, this is why we are not a good movie podcast.
we're a great movie
But
podcast.
I didn't take notes either. So
Yeah.
Listen, we do what we do. People can show up and like it, or people can show up and hate it.
It's funny, when I saw
doing
this,
what we do.
only reason I took the kids to see this movie originally is because like I was like, wow, people fucking love this movie. It was like really good. And when I found out I remember seeing the movie and I'm like, it's about a fucking baby duck that she's raising. I was like so confused.
My
Like I didn't know what I was getting into. Like,
my
kind of thing.
favorite thing about three of my favorite things about the PTC Movie Club. One, I love watching things that I probably otherwise wouldn't have watched. And most of the time it's something that at least someone wants to watch or someone has watched and is like, I want you guys to watch this because I think it's good. A good thing. Except for that one year Dom picked things that I don't think he thought were going to be good regardless.
I mean, listen, Greatest Showman, I like the soundtrack.
No, that's not that year. I'm talking about the Disney Ride
that
year.
year. It was the
I'm
year
talking about
before
the
that.
Disney Ride year. The musical year was fine.
Oh, the Haunted
Todd loves
Mansion.
Country Bears.
I like
loves
Country Bears.
Todd
Yeah,
does love
sorry.
Country Bears, like unironic.
But what else did we watch that year? We watched fucking Haunted Mansion.
Haunted
That was
Mansion,
not good.
Country Bears
No,
and
it was-
something else.
Did we watch? We had to have watched a third one, right? What was the other one? We didn't watch Jungle Book, I don't think, or Jungle Cruise
No.
or whatever.
We didn't watch Jungle Cruise.
Maybe he just pivoted after those first two.
No,
No.
he definitely did it the whole year.
So there had to have been one more.
I didn't do Tower of Terror.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mansion, Country Bears.
I need to know if this is true now. Jay just said Country Bears was a banger with a million question marks.
Yeah.
And then they said, JK, I never watched any of the movies.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's,
okay.
so-
Literally
Perfect
have only watched Hot Frosty, and I think I'm going to keep it that way.
I mean, we picked some garbage movies, but for you to pick the worst of the bunch to be like, okay, I get the sense of
Listen.
things.
Listen, I was pretty high on Hot Frosty. Like, listen.
I
It's
know,
near the
I know,
bottom.
Todd.
Is it the
I know
true
Todd.
worst one?
All right, brackets. How many movies do we have? We're gonna do.
We'll do a
I
bracket.
might
We'll do
have.
bracket
That
together.
might have been the only two. I
Really? Maybe you
Yeah.
jumped in late in the year. I think you like jumped.
Maybe.
in. That was when you started, and then
maybe.
you were like, I'm gonna go crazy.
Okay. Maybe we didn't even start at the beginning of the year. I have no idea. I don't know if we like in
I don't
January
think Dom
we're like,
was
let's do this now.
I feel like Dom wasn't there for like the first few rotations that we had.
Okay. So back to my original 3 points. I like watching things I probably wouldn't have watched otherwise, and it's a recommendation of people that I think are trying to show me something that they enjoy. 2,
Or something different.
which I also appreciate.
Yeah.
Or 2, I think I forgot my 3 points.
Not like me now.
We watched Brenden in real time make
Build
3
up to
points.
3
Like,
points.
he's like, one thing I love. No, 2 things. 3 things I love. All right. First thing is this. I don't know what the other.
This
2
is
things
why I will rudely interrupt all of you just to fucking get out what I'm trying to say, because I will fucking forget it and never remember it ever again. This is what, like,
Listen, I never had these problems before I had COVID. Once I had COVID, all of a sudden this happens to me all
Bro,
the time
you're-
on a regular
yeah.
basis. I have
I
anxiety.
can't wait for
I
you
have
guys to hit 40. I can't
I
wait for
have
you guys to get fucking older
daily
and have a beer,
anxiety
and then you can't
attacks.
fucking.
where I'll be mid conversation and forget what the fuck I was talking about. I'm like, I need to figure this out. yeah, I don't know. My points are gone, so it is what it is.
All right. Well, the important thing is point one. He likes seeing
Seeing
movies.
movies
Yeah.
that he's never seen, but
Well,
I
I
think
go
his
to
other
Beth Moe
I
and the
think
Hall.
I think his other 2 points where he likes when Dom does double features and he likes when Todd does double features. I
yeah,
think those are the
Yeah,
other 2
I
points.
think the
yeah. So
points.
we're good.
It's crazy how true that is. That's like super accurate. Um, let's see, Movie Club. What do I like about Movie Club? Okay.
Not knowing what movies are about.
Second point was that it's it's a nice change of pace since we normally talk about video games or other video game adjacent stuff, and I feel
we?
like it gives us, room to dissect something else, and it has us like dissecting like the same thing where it's not like
So I agree. I agree with
what
that
have you
too.
been
'Cause,
playing? What
like,
have you been playing? Which
We
is
didn't-
I love all that
We didn't even
conversation
play.
too.
We didn't even
But-
really talk about this movie. But go on.
but no, but like I agree with that too because like my issue is that like I want to play video games on my free time. So like at least with this, I will force myself if I don't go to a theater to see a movie, I will force myself to watch a fucking movie, even though I want to watch movies. But like I'd rather use my free time for video games. So
Yeah.
I do like it for that.
And the third point, I still can't
Why don't you
remember.
just tell me the movie you want to see?
But it is a nice change of pace to all have the same thing that we're talking about that we've engaged with, where that's not normally the case with certain video games as crossover, but not like normally the case because again we're often all playing different stuff, so it's nice to like hone in on a similar thing and see how it affects us all similarly differently, how bad Todd's taste is, all that stuff. So with that being said, my movie pick for February is going to be revealed after we end the episode and do the game. So, thank you. And were any other closing thoughts on Wild Robot, or are we done with the Wild Robot?
Even all the Oscars.
It's not up for Best Picture, right? It's just up for
No,
animated.
best animation, but it's going against Flow, which is like a movie from a very low budget studio that there's no dialogue in the movie and it's supposed to be pretty incredible. But yeah, that took the Golden Globe.
Is that the only Oscar it has?
That's like those
Oscar
what?
nomination? Is that the only Oscar
No,
nomination
it's
that Wild Robot has?
no, it's best score, best animated. I think it's got like 5 or 6.
Oh wow, okay. Cool. So, thank you again all so much for listening to this week's episode 456, the PTC Movie Club for The Wild Robot. We appreciate you. As a reminder, we do record the show live every week at twitch.tv/PassController. So if you're an audio listener, you can always catch the show live. If you can't make the live show, search Pass the Controller Podcast on YouTube. It'll pop up over there. You can watch it at your convenience. If you do listen to the show, please leave us a quick 5-star review, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that stuff, super helpful. Go to passthecontroller.io to get everything we do under the sun. But as we do with every episode, we end with the game. The way that works is I keep a running scoreboard for the year. We're in a new year, and last week, Todd took some fucking points home. Todd is in first.
Listen, when I get to fucking just be Googling while you guys are on camera and I can just fucking sit on my couch.
Damn.
Todd took
us.
home some big old points from his coach last week. Todd's sitting at first with 5. Dom is in second with 2. And Mike sitting in third with 1 point. Because it's a movie episode, we're going to, of course, play the movie game. And the way that works is I'm going to reveal different clues about 3 different movies. Whoever gets the movie first gets the point. Movie number 1. Let me just... Mike, I need you to like come look at my computer sometime soon and just like see if you
Figure
can...
out how you fucked it
shit.
up.
Wallace
porn?
and Gromit is also nominated.
That movie's incredible too. I watched that
movie's
last
good.
weekend. It's so good. The penguin villain from like the first one is back in this and he's so good.
Let's see. Okay, this
I don't know what
movie...
this Memoir of a Snail is.
This 2006 rated PG-13 film clocks in at 2 hours and 31 minutes.
2006. Where was I?
2006.
It has a tomato meter of 53% and a popcorn meter of 72%.
Okay.
5370.
2006.
Is it Avatar?
Incorrect.
I feel like people liked it more than that.
Yeah.
I know. I feel like there's so much hate towards Avatar. I can't remember if the first
I
one
feel
did
like
well.
that hate is, it's apparently
It's
not
where-
indicative of like what the box office.
Yeah, no, that was like set
The
records.
moviegoers were. Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes says you might also like The Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time,
Oh,
and
shit.
In the Name of the King, a dungeon siege tale.
Okay.
2006.
Yes,
Yep.
with a
2
budget
hours and 30 minutes is what's
31
throwing me
minutes. Yep, with a budget of $225 million.
Oh, that's expensive.
This film took home worldwide just over $1 billion dues.
off. Oh wow, okay.
Okay. So
A $1 billion movie in 2006.
yeah, it's impressive.
It's Ready Player One.
Incorrect.
Oh. America wasn't ready for that movie back then.
No, listen. That movie is so underappreciated.
This film has 54 award nominations, 45 award wins, including 4 total Oscar nominations with 1 Oscar win.
Oh wow.
It has a nomination for Best Achievement in Art Direction, has a nomination for Best Achievement in Sound Mixing, has an award for nomination for Best Achievement in Sound Editing, and took home Best Achievement in Visual Effects.
Okay. 2006.
Six.
So
I can't.
go
I
to
can't. I can't think back to 2006 and like nothing's really sticking.
It's
I feel like every
need-
movie I've guessed is like way later.
before Pirates 3, but I think after Pirates 2. Actually, I can't guarantee that.
You may recognize the third billed actress from such films as The Imitation Game.
What is that movie? And I feel like I know what that movie is.
So is it At World's End?
Incorrect.
Is it
Atonement. Pride
the
and
second
Prejudice.
one was.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the second one is
Dead Man's Chest,
Dead Man's
Curse
Chest.
of the Black Pearl? Is it any of those? Is it Dead Man's Chest?
It would be Dead Man's Chest. I think Curse of the Black Pearl was like 2004.
Who said Dead Man's Chest first? Which one of you?
Dom said it.
Dom gets the point. It is indeed Dead
To
Man's
be
Chest.
fair, I only started guessing the Pirates movies because Mike was like, "Well, it's not one of the Pirates movies," and then he said Imitation Game. I was like, "All right, so it is Keira Knightley." So it's
No,
Yeah,
one of the Pirates movies.
I wasn't saying it.
Everything after
I
that
didn't
was
say
like,
it wasn't the Pirates movies. I just knew it was not the third one.
Okay,
So
you.
super
So
hot take.
that's weird. Why I went right to the third one when I started guessing.
I think
That's
those
why I was
movies are
confused
like
why you
some of the
said
worst movies ever.
Because
And
we
I don't-
saw the third one. We saw the third one right after we graduated. We like graduated and we went
Yes.
to the movies.
Yes.
The
we
only
did.
reason I started guessing the Pirates movies was because he
Keira,
said
alright.
Keira Knightley. So I was gonna start going backwards.
So that movie was at 53%, which makes sense because those movies aren't good. Not good.
The first-
movies.
I like
the first one was
three.
pretty good.
I like the first
The
three.
first
I
one was
think.
pretty good, and
Yeah,
The first one,
yeah.
so you know what I had an issue with the first one? I remember seeing it and I was like, they started doing all the choreographed fighting, and I was like, oh, this is so cheesy. And I remember us being annoyed that they were like, it's not for me. Like
Yeah.
that
I mean,
shit,
it's not like
it's
an action movie. Like it has action, but it's not like a.
Yeah.
I mean, I
it's
think
like
the choreographed fighting was pretty fun.
yeah.
Yeah, of course you did, Mike. You like Fast and the Furious, all right? But next fucking
Hey,
movie,
listen,
right?
you got me.
And I feel like the CGI in
The
even
CGI
Dead,
and
Dead Man's Chest
No, they're
was
incredible.
great for the
Yeah,
time.
yes,
If
yeah,
you
yeah,
watch them now,
absolutely.
they look terrible. But
Oh,
No,
really? It
Dead
didn't hold
Man's
up?
Chest is the one with Davy Jones, right? Yeah, I feel like
Always
people went
show
nuts
Davy-
for that CGI.
Even now, people show like that clip of Davy Jones playing the
Yes,
the
they used
organ,
it.
yeah,
and
Yes,
they
yeah.
Yeah, but
like look
if
if
you-
it looks better.
if you like turn on like settings on your TV now, it just looks bad because like
But you're not supposed to turn on those settings.
I
Everyone
know.
says do not turn on motion smoothing. It makes everything.
It's like
fast.
motion smoothing and something else. I forget what the two are, but it's like, yeah, you can see how dated the CGI is.
Dom gets the point. Movie number 2. This 2019 PG film clocks in at an hour and 44 minutes.
Mike, what do you think it might not be?
I have to place 2019, so it was right before COVID.
What was the length?
Hour 44.
Hour and 44.
Hour 44. So 2019 would have been the year of. Well, Brendan, go ahead and start saying things.
This film has a 68% tomato meter and a 79% popcorn meter.
See, that's throwing me off. I don't like these fucking low balls.
So 2019 would have been the year of
the
Rise
rabbit.
of Skywalker. Right?
Is it the Rise of Skywalker?
Incorrect.
Is it
Endgame? I think would have been that year too.
Incorrect.
Is it Endgame?
Incorrect.
It's not.
Mike, stop giving them answers. What are you doing?
Well, I listed those.
Lupita Nyong'o was in at least the first one there.
I listed those two because I knew that it couldn't be that. Endgame and Rise of Skywalker were both fucking long.
Yeah, that's true.
Rotten Tomatoes says you might also like Dora in the Lost City of Gold.
Fucking incredible movie, by the way.
Sherlock Gnomes. Snow Dogs. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Paddington 2.
2019. With
a budget of $150 million reduce, this film took in worldwide $450 million.
That throws me a little bit.
Modest.
You may know the top billed actor from the MCU.
Who is it?
Oh, it's Doolittle.
Incorrect.
Oh man,
that was a good guess.
That is a good guess. Yeah, it's around that time too. But I don't think that movie. I think that movie was a bomb.
It was, but
450 million is a lot.
I don't know. There might have been enough. There might have been enough voice cast in that to get 400.
Yeah, because Tom Holland was fucking someone in that.
John Cena.
Oh, it's Onward.
Incorrect. You may recognize the second billed actor from such things as the TV miniseries The Get Down, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. In this film.
What was the first thing you said though about that? Before you listed the movies, you just might know the actor. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the second build actor. The only thing we got about the first build actor was that he was in the MCU.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
For now.
I think it would give away too much if we knew anything else about him.
The top billed actor is I would argue, this is an opinion-based fact I'm giving you. I would argue is
opinion-based fact. What a
this is me trying to help you here. This is me trying to steer you in the right direction without giving too much information. I would argue that this actor is a current major player in the MCU. Or maybe it doesn't help you.
No, it doesn't help me at all. Because that could be fucking anyone at this point.
You may know the third billed actress. I kind of want to look at the movie poster because I'm a little confused with whatever. We're going off IMDb. So this is the third billed actress. Maybe it's not out of place. Anyways,
Todd's humming How to Train Your Dragon.
You may recognize the third billed actress from such things as Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, the TV series Big Little Lies, this film, and
Oh, is it
freaky.
Detective Pikachu's?
It is
Detective Pikachu?
indeed Detective Pikachu.
I couldn't. I like in my head was like, all right, I know it's a movie where there's a CGI character talking to humans. I just don't know what one it is.
That movie only made $450 million on that budget. I'm actually surprised by that. I feel like that movie would have been a lot bigger.
I think if it was not a Detective Pikachu movie and a Pokemon movie, it probably would have done better.
Oh, really?
I think so. I thought it was a good movie.
I liked it.
Yeah, that's fine.
I also think that we're also in a very quick turnaround between that, and not that I still think the Sonic movies have some issues, but I think that like between Detective Pikachu and where we're at now with Sonic 3, I think we've made like a very different turn into like animated video game movies, even the Mario movie. So I feel like I think there's rumors they're making a Detective Pikachu movie, a sequel.
That's why I feel like I've heard that.
So I feel like it would probably do better because I think it would maybe look at what some of those other films are doing that make them at least, monetarily successful. Though it's still, I mean, no, Sonic. I think Sonic also did around that. I don't think Sonic 3 did more.
Didn't do anything
much more than
430, 440.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's around there right now.
Yeah.
It's already on streaming. It's on streaming, but you can rent it now.
Yeah.
I mean, what the Sonic movies are doing for Sonic is great for Sonic. I think it's changing the way people feel about Sonic in a positive way. Where like Pokemon, whether the movie is good or bad, I don't think it changes how people feel about Pokemon. Like it is what it is. Where I like Sonic needs all the W's it can get, and I think the movies are like great in getting more people to appreciate Sonic. Okay. Movie number 3. And as a heads up, I think I put these 3 movies in ascending difficulty. So,
okay,
see if that checks out. This 2003 rated R film clocks in at 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Wait, 215?
2:15.
I take these notes and I act like they're helping me, but then everyone guesses.
Yeah, you're too busy blazing it up.
No, after.
This film has a 64% tomato meter and a 72 popcorn meter.
You said 2003?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so I was home from college. That was my first year back, right? That's a good little thing.
Rotten Tomatoes says you might also like Bridget Jones, The Edge of Reason.
Easy.
Knocked Up. Bridget Jones' Diary. The Guru.
Oh, that's your
And
movie.
Good on Paper. With a budget of $40 million, this film took home just over $245 million.
Okay.
2003, rated R, 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Budget of $40 million.
I feel like that's pretty
it's
pretty
crazy.
good take home for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
Budget of $40 million in 2003. I feel like that still feels low.
I feel like that's like I'm assuming this is like a not a big budget movie and just fucking. Oh, I know what it is.
This film has 29 nominations and 11 wins, none of which are Oscars, but it does have 3
Razzies?
BAFTA nominations, 1 win, a BAFTA nomination for Best Performance by an Actress in a Supporting Role, a BAFTA nomination for sure, I'll give it to you. It might actually just be more confusing, but I'll give it to you. Best Alexander Korda Award for Best British Film. Don't know if that's going to happen. Best British Film.
Oh, British film. Okay.
And
I said Bridge. I was like, what the fuck is that?
It took home the BAFTA Film Award for Best Performance by an actor in a supporting role. And I'll go a step further to say that actor that won that award is the actual through line of these 3 movies.
Is it Shaun of the Dead?
Incorrect.
Where'd you come
Is
up
it
with that?
Hot Fuzz?
Incorrect.
Where's the through line with that?
Do I tell Todd?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you can tell.
Bill Nye.
Oh.
Um,
Wait, what year is this? 2000. Oh, okay, it's not
2003.
there's only one other Bill Nye movie that like I've almost picked several times, and I was like, oh, maybe it's that movie, but it's not In Time, is it?
Incorrect. Let's see.
You said it was rated R, right?
Rated R.
Oh yeah, so it's not even. Yeah, that's not gonna help.
I think. See, I can't do this the same way for the DCEU. Nope, never mind. Nope, there's someone you might recognize from the MCU in this film,
Perfect.
but a very ancillary
Means
character.
nothing to me. It means nothing to me.
What do you mean? If it is MCU, that like gives you a lot of actors to play around with, and if it doesn't have MCU, that gives you a lot of actors to rule out. I think that's a helpful clue.
Like
If you're-
69% on Rotten Tomatoes, you said?
I mean, to be fair, if it's a British movie and you said it's an ancillary MCU character, I already have a guess as to who it is.
Because you got your head on. I'm giving you good clues, I think.
I mean, I just feel like it doesn't help me because I already guessed 2 movies that he's in.
What did you guess? I already forget.
Shaun of the Dead,
Oh,
Hot
yes.
Fuzz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them's in the MCU?
No, Bill Nye is in both of those movies, and then Martin Freeman might have been in.
Yeah, I feel like Martin Freeman's in... Is he not in both? I thought he was in both.
I don't really. I feel like he is, but like I can't remember. I feel like Martin Freeman, if he was in Shaun of the Dead, he was like ancillary. I feel like he was like in the group that they meet up with at the very end of the film.
Yeah.
I don't know. In my head,
I would say
in my head, I was...
I would say Martin Freeman is an ancillary MCU character if he was in this film.
Yeah, well, that's who I was talking about, so...
Who is Martin Freeman in the MCU, though?
He's like an agent.
I don't even
Oh,
remember
no.
his names.
Wait, did we say what the through line was? Sorry.
Jesus Christ, Todd! What are your notes for?
Sorry.
Todd's just drawing that S that you draw 6 lines and fucking over and over again. Sure, I'll give it to you. Yeah, Martin Freeman's in this film. That's the MCU link I was giving you.
That was a through line.
Nope.
No.
Would it help you if it was? Sure, Todd. It is. Go for it.
Okay.
You said 2003, right?
2003. Name some
Yeah.
Martin Freeman movies, Todd. Go ahead.
The movie when he's a zombie and like he has a kid on his back and he has to fucking I forget what the name of that movie is. Is he in Hitchhiker's Guide?
He is.
He is. The only reason I haven't guessed that is because we just said that was an anniversary.
Hitchhiker's Guide. That's what I'm
I think
guessing.
it's 2005, and I don't think it's rated R.
It's
It
not.
might be. But I don't think it is.
Let's see.
Oh,
Okay.
rated R just threw me off completely. Actually, now that you say that, I was going in a completely different direction.
2003.
I couldn't even watch rated R movies back then. Like, what am I gonna do?
Whoa, speak for yourself. All right.
I am speaking for myself. That's what I said. I couldn't watch them.
The cover for the movie poster for this film features 10 actors on it.
Oh, it's Valentine's Day.
Incorrect.
Oh, that does have Bill Nye in it.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's not rated R.
No, but it's also not British.
Isn't he a science guy? I'm so confused. Like he's an actor too.
Todd, you're killing me. Stop talking. Stop talking unless you have an answer.
Let's see. Not top billed according to IMDb, but is on the cover of this poster and probably the DVD cover of the film. This actor you may know from such films as The Lion King.
Ooh.
Okay.
The original or the remake?
In 94.
Oh.
2003. Is it Rat Race?
Incorrect,
Oh,
but Dom
man.
knows the fucking actor. You
Mr.
may
Bean's
also
in
know
that.
this actor
Is it Mr.
from,
Bean? Is
from,
it Mr. Bean?
From Johnny English. Johnny English Reborn and
Is it
Bean.
Mr. Bean, the movie? Oh, Bean is the name of the movie.
Wait. Dom, real talk. Do you think Mr. Bean would have been rated R?
I'm just guessing I'm guessing British movies at this point.
I
that's
just
fair.
love that I said The Lion King and Dom was like, it's fucking Zazu. Like,
I just was trying to think, like, all right, let me get a movie with as many people in it as I can. There's 10 people on the cover. I know Rowan Atkinson's in this movie.
Okay. Let's see. Who else can we get? Who else can we get off this cover? We're gonna go off the cover here.
Okay.
To be fair, that's definitely also not a British movie. Lot of very American people in that movie.
What?
Rat Race.
But he's
Very
in that
American
movie, though, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Mr. Bean is, yeah. John Lovett's fucking. Who else is in that movie?
You may recognize
actress.
this actress from the cover of this film from such films as The Savages. You Can Count on Me. What'd you say?
I said Cuba Gooding. He's also in Rat Race, I think.
Kinsey and the TV series The Big C.
I think it's much more likely that I only recognize this actress from the cover of this movie.
Yeah, right.
Hey, let's just try to name all the actors from the cover of the Rat Race movie because I don't think we're gonna get it.
All right, I can crank it up. I can just go to top 3 then. Want me to crank it up?
Yeah.
Okay. You may
wait. You've given us actors. Are Martin Freeman, Rowan Atkinson, and Bill Nighy not in the top 3 actors?
In the top 3? No.
Yes.
But 2 of those people you named are on the cover of this movie.
Wait. And Martin Freeman is the through line of all these movies, right?
Yeah. Martin Freeman, not the one on the cover.
Morgan Freeman?
Morgan Freeman
is
Short. I was thinking Martin Short this whole time.
I thought, did he just say Morgan Freeman was the through line?
Yes.
Yeah, I think Morgan Freeman is the through line.
This is a disaster.
Is it
It's Driving Miss Daisy.
All right, just give us more clues at this point.
Okay. So you know that the cover of this film features Martin Freeman is in the film, not on the cover.
Mhm.
On the cover, you will see one Bill Nighy. You will see one Rowan Atkinson.
Yes.
The actress that I just gave you hints for on the cover is Laura Linney.
Okay.
I feel like if I do this, it's just going to give someone the movie, maybe?
Fucking do it.
Probably.
Okay.
Todd needs this one.
I'm going to give you everyone except for the top 3 build.
Okay.
So you may also, and this is top 3 build according to IMDb. I don't know if that's actually what.
If that's real life.
I'm wondering if the poster is more accurately top build than what this is. So I'm gonna give you everyone but the top 3 on the poster.
A person like right in the middle. It's like, hey.
So you may recognize Martine McCutcheon from this
I
film.
wouldn't.
Okay, well that's according to IMDb the second build actress. That's why I'm gonna.
What's the actress's name again?
That's why I'm. Huh? Martine McCutcheon.
Okay.
Keira Knightley. You may recognize Emma Thompson.
I know her name.
You may recognize somebody from Harry Potter. I'm not going to give you their name.
Mm.
And then the top 3 build,
Fun fact.
according to me.
All of the
Thompson,
movies.
Emma
British.
Thompson, Bill Nighy, Martin Freeman?
I'm
All in
confused.
Harry Potter. All in
All right,
Harry
I'm
Potter.
gonna guess, but I don't think this movie's rated R.
I've never seen this movie is rated R.
I know that you've never seen the Harry Potter films because I just named actors that are in
All right,
Harry
well,
Potter.
there you go. So it's someone other than them that's also in Harry Potter.
Oh, it's Richard Harris.
There's so many people in Harry Potter that's fucking impossible.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
it's just a British person.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all British.
All I'm hearing is a lot of complaints out of the fucking
Daniel
peanut
Radcliffe.
gallery here.
Oh, Guns Akimbo.
Who do you all think is this person?
The only other person that I
which-
feel like you would know offhand is
person?
Alan Rickman, but I think
Which
that'd be
person?
wild.
Yeah, which person? I'm so confused
The
as to what we're
Harry
doing
Potter
now.
person that I removed. Okay, you may
Is
recognize.
Morgan Freeman still the through line?
You may recognize this person from such things as Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of It's Cut Off. I can't read the rest of it.
Oh,
So it's
Helena
Helena
Bonham
Bonham Farter.
Carter. Oh, got him.
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, Galaxy Quest,
Oh, so
and Die
It's
Hard.
definitely okay. Oh
That's-
yeah, that's
that-
easy. Okay.
It's, of course, Hans Gruber.
Is it Love Actually?
It is indeed Love Actually.
That's
is that a
fucking good.
British film?
That's
didn't
rated R, first of all, because I was gonna say it, and
Yeah,
I
that's
was
weird
like,
too. I'm like, that's rated R.
Also, when you said Valentine's Day earlier, I definitely was thinking of Love Actually.
When-
I think I was too.
When
I
Mike
think I
said
was thinking that
Valentine's
too.
Day, I was trying not to laugh because I was like, oh, Mike's going to get it right now. And then he didn't. I was like, okay, all right.
I gotta remember to just say what I'm thinking because it's not worth anything if I don't say it. But
Honestly-
I was thinking Love Actually, but I was waiting. I was like, oh,
Wait a
hopefully
minute.
he'll say fucking Walking Dead, and then that'll be my go-to.
Yeah, but
I'll be
why
like, oh,
would I
okay.
give you that much clues? Like, why?
Because
Why
who would
would
know
you?
what the Walking?
But why wouldn't you just say Love Actually?
I don't know because I always feel like I don't.
You don't lose
hold on.
points.
Todd, I'm
I know.
confused. Are you already not saying what's on your mind just immediately?
Sometimes
Because
with this game, for some reason, I don't shout out. I'm like, I get this answer, and then I'm like, and then
Because
I'm like,
you're
no, I'm
saying
not
some wild shit like off the cuff,
gonna- I am
unprompted,
me.
and yes, you.
So
And then you're just like confused.
So the order of the cover goes,
Colin
it
Firth.
goes left, right, left, right, left, right. So Hugh Grant, top build according to IMDb. I would say probably top build of the movie.
Back then, that time, yes, yeah.
Liam Neeson,
Oh, it's not Colin Firth, is it?
and then Colin Firth, and
Oh,
then Laura Linney, and then Emma Thompson, and then Alan Rickman, Keira Knightley, Martine McCutcheon, Bill Nighy, Rowan Atkinson.
Rowan Atkinson's on the cover.
Yes.
That's so weird.
Um.
Well, apparently it's a British movie,
I don't know.
Yeah, so he has to be on the cover.
which I'm
That's-
confused about.
I didn't know if it was a British movie or not, but
Well, you said one of
Why
the
is that movie
headbands
rated
was-
R?
It won a yeah.
Full
Um,
frontal?
I want
I don't know. I feel like it has. I don't know. I don't know what makes a movie rated R. Actually, Martin Freeman. I'm pretty sure his scene in the movie. I think he is a stand-in in sex scenes for movies. I think that's what he does.
Is Laura Linney British in real life? Like, I'm
I
confused.
have no idea. You're asking questions I do not have answers to. Wait, have none of you who has seen this movie?
I've seen it.
I have not seen it.
It's not a bad movie. It's fucking long though. 2 hours and 15 minutes for this movie is.
Yeah, I
fucking long.
heard. That's
Oh,
crazy.
why do I not
a
remember?
lot of
Billy Bob
time for a
Thornton?
British movie.
Bill Nighy is like a washed up musician in the movie. The movie actually opens with him. I forget. Rowan Atkinson, I think, is a jeweler. Martine McCutcheon is involved with Hugh Grant. Maybe that's why they're the second build actress according to IMDb, because they're. I struggle to say that they're like the main character because it's all sort of separate people's stories kind of intermingling a little bit. So like everyone has their own sort of plots going on that are not tied to everyone else, if that makes sense.
I'm glad I forgot Bill Nighy was in the Underworld movies because I would have tried to name all the Underworld movies.
Right. Yeah. I forgot.
I
he was
mean,
in that, too.
you could have said Underworld 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
and then
Was he in all of them though? I think he was. Didn't he like die in the first one?
I don't know, maybe.
Okay, I think that'll do it for this week's episode.
Unless you're going to reveal your movie.
Oh, okay. All right. Do I wanna do it this way? Do I want to text you all separately 3 movies, and then you each text me back separately the one you would prefer, and then we're gonna just go with the average?
No.
All right.
We are not just mentally prepared to do something
Okay.
like that.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'm just gonna go with it then, and
You're
Todd's
gonna
gonna
text
do
some
that.
Don't do
movies,
it. Wait,
and then
no,
we're all
do the
each of us
text
are gonna
message.
do
Just like
something different.
don't listen
We're
to Mike.
all gonna
Just do the
respond
text
with a
message.
Todd
different
is so
movie.
bad. Todd is so bad.
Don't do the we can't do two cartoon movies back to back. It just doesn't work.
I mean, I'm sorry, Todd, but I've had my pick locked since the beginning of the year. So
What were the three movies you were gonna text? So that's what I want to know.
it was gonna be The Boy and the Heron,
Mhm.
Saturday Night, and what's in my text message with Jen? Hold please.
Right, said Fred.
Drop Dead Fred.
Oh, my favorite Western, Gumby the movie. No. Actually, I think I'm gonna kick that other one.
Oh, we gave it the boot.
Well, I was going back and forth between. I think at some point I want to watch 8th Grade, and I want to watch Lady Bird, but I watched the trailer for 8th Grade, and then I was like, maybe I don't want to watch this movie. At least not for like a movie pick. That's the Bo Burnham film about
he directed
Directorial
about
baby.
8th grade.
And then I don't know. I like Saoirse Ronan, and I like Lady Bird has been on my to-do list for a while. So, and Todd's come around on Timothy fucking Chalamet. So
He's
Although I want to really watch his new Dylan movie, but for everyone else but him. Although I'm like he's cool, but like every other person, Joan Baez, like I want to see like every other actor in that movie looks so good. Edward Norton. I'm not going to the theater to see that fucking thing. That thing bombed, by the way.
So yeah, I mean, out of those 3 movies, if you want to text me the one you'd prefer, if there's a average, then go for it.
Just pick what you want. Just it's your pick.
Okay, The Boy and the Heron.
So I'm just glad I finally don't have to watch a movie. I'm not watching that fucking garbage.
I believe it is on HBO Max or Max. The Boy and the Heron streaming. It is on Max. I mean, again, I don't know.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think that guy's a piece of shit. The director.
Miyazaki?
Yeah, I stand by it. Did you ever see his son's film that he put out and he came out? And
yeah, and
critiqued it?
he's
I was like,
yeah,
that
this
guy's
is
an asshole.
trash.
He's like a legit asshole. Like I was like, I don't like him. It's like ever since I'm like, I don't care if I ever see one of his movies.
Anyways,
He
that's
like
the movie.
literally.
That's the movie for February. We
He's out here
appreciate
ripping
you.
butts.
Well, we appreciate you. We will see you next time.